All right, good morning, everyone. Yes, should be streaming now. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to day 5. Oh, come on. Why is it not doing that? There we go. The final day. Tell me someone catches this reference. Okay, at least one. Oh, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, I'll take it. So first off, thank you to Microsoft for giving us this space. It's very, very kind of them. And hopefully we can do more stuff in the future, but we'll see. So, as usual, a quick coverage of what we'll go over today, right? And as usual, the disclaimer on expectations. I do see that some people, this is their first day, or I guess only day of the event, so we'll talk about expectations briefly. First off, none of us are super experts, right? We use all this stuff in our daily work. We do get paid to work with these kinds of systems, but we have not written books on this stuff. We are not the creators of this stuff. So, as usual, test what you build, make sure it works, do your research. But we hope that this can be a good way to kind of help you get started with things. And I just realized I'm missing a slide, but I'll improv it. Also, do be aware, this is a lot that we're covering. Covering Kubernetes in one day is ambitious, but the goal here is not to give you a complete 100% grasp of everything that you can walk out of here and set up your own Kubernetes cluster tomorrow with no help at all. This is more focused on getting you exposed to things, helping you understand to help you know what you don't know, and give you a good starting point at which you can continue developing your knowledge, and basically help you understand tutorials that you might go through in the future and have some familiarity with like, oh yeah, I've done this before and then I should do that and that, this kind of stuff. So don't panic if you're not grasping everything 100%. Again, the goal is exposure, okay? Also, do make sure to review what we covered today to try to help it stick. Try to review stuff on your own time. Repetition does improve memory, so repeat stuff as much as you can. Additionally, it's better we learn better as a group. So if you have not already, try to connect with people here with you today. It can be very helpful to have people to ask questions to. It can also help you remember things better if you're answering questions for someone else. And we always have our Discord server where you can ask further questions or ask for references, this kind of stuff. We will share all of the presentation slides for the whole event, along with just sharing the link to the stream again if you guys need to use that as your future reference. All good? All right. So, today, you'll have some understanding of how to run containers in production. Okay, you learned about Docker stuff on day 2, right? And we did a little bit more with it in days 3 and 4. But today you'll learn how do you actually use these containers in a manner where you can serve internet traffic, ideally at scale. So we'll go over Kubernetes. That's pretty much the main goal of today and the majority of the content. We'll also go over Helm, which you can kind of think of as a package manager for Kubernetes. Not exactly, but it functions in that way. Basically, you package whole applications. We'll go over AKS, Azure Kubernetes. Basically just running Kubernetes on the cloud, which honestly is the only sane way to run it. And then we'll talk about some of the managed cloud services because you don't necessarily want to run everything Kubernetes. And then we'll go over how to do stuff at various scales. Okay? Does that all sound like the kind of things folks are interested in? All right. So, I just put it in the wrong order. Okay, great. So this is the schedule for today. We are going to spend an hour and a half introducing you guys to Kubernetes. And I promise you it's still not going to be enough time, okay? It's a big, giant system. But so this is the introduction now. Then we're going to go over, the difficulties caused by using containers to try to serve production applications. I'll talk about this a little more during the presentation, but I remember back in the old times, before Kubernetes, the company I was working at was basically trying to build something almost exactly like Kubernetes. And it was actually quite close. Might be a very different world if they had got it done first. But We'll talk about the problems with containers, which cause the need for systems like Kubernetes. Then we'll go over Kubernetes itself. We will break for lunch. Do note that we cannot eat in this room, okay? But we can eat outside in those little tables just outside of here. Alternatively, you can always just go to restaurants around here. It will be a slightly shorter lunchtime, okay? In the past couple days, we've had a 1.5 hour lunchtime, but today is just going to be 1 hour because we have a lot to cover. So do try to, like, during downtime between events, try to figure out where you're going to go for lunch, because you're not going to have a huge amount of time to just wander around and look for stuff, okay? And then when we get back, we'll do a coffee and discussion. Specifically, please do come back for the discussion time today, because you will have a lot of questions from the introduction to Kubernetes. And I want to make sure that you guys have a chance to solidify your knowledge, make sure everything makes sense, all that sort of good stuff. Sound good? Cool. And then we'll go over how to run Kubernetes on the cloud, because that's way, way, way easier. Although we might cover that a little bit in the introduction to Kubernetes, we'll see. Then we'll go over, like I said before, the managed cloud services, and then we'll talk about scale. So any questions on what we have planned for today? All right. And then for the discussion, like, obviously every session is optional, but for the discussion time, like, it's going to be our last time together for this boot camp. So if you have any outstanding questions, that will be the time. Sure, you can always ask on Discord, but it's nice to have conversations face-to-face to make things go faster. So if you have any questions from anything you've had during the boot camp, make sure to come up with them. Try to review the material during downtime, and come up with anything that you're like, wait, how am I going to do this in the future? And we can talk about it. Sound good? All right. Is everyone hyped? Yeah, that's always a terrible question, I know. But do make sure to take advantage of the space. Like, the stream can't really see it, unfortunately, but we have a beautiful view of Gwanghwamun here. So do take some photos, especially with the snow falling now. Looks really nice. You can also go around the corner there. You get a corner view as well. But yeah, thank you guys, and looking forward to today. We're ending 10 minutes early, so let's make sure that everyone's on the network properly, and make sure everyone's ready to go. All right, thank you guys.